Hi folks, I'm Steve Zafaro and I'm here with Kevin Stadler of Evolon. And Evolon, right Kevin, used to be called another company?
It was. It was called Hermes Technology until about a year ago, and then we switched it to Evolon, which I think it means evolving, and it's a derivation off of that. But it's because we've broadened out what we do in a number of different areas, so this reflects a little bit better the nature of the company.
So you've had quite a history, especially in Homeland Security, border security, perimeter detection of, long-range visitors, shall I say?
Yes.
And as I see in the background, you've got a nice utilities application. Are you using those are you using Evolon products and solutions in different camera platforms and utilities?
So we are. It's right now we've got a variety of different energy / power generation that uses it for critical infrastructure. We've got, as you pointed out, a lot of different government applications we've used in a variety of different DoD, DOE types of applications. Then, in addition, we've got some new things. So I guess to answer your question about what we use it for and what pieces, as old Hermes, we had one main application. It was inside of a camera, really good at long distance. And as a matter of fact, it's a little bit of what you see here. This is somebody at about a quarter mile out to the left. Up here to the right, we're automatically tracking to a camera. There's no human involved, and it's pointing to the pan and zoom and telling it what you need to zoom in on. We've been accurate up to 5 miles. Our normal claim is just about a mile under normal application. So as you said, we're really good at long distance, which matters to a lot of people because it's less cost, because to do a large perimeter installation, you need fewer cameras.
So in this case, you have an overview camera, and then it sends an acquire signal to the pan tilt to track it? Okay,
absolutely.
Great.
So this is actually one of the applications. We pair these two cameras together, and so they're linked. And so this camera has a broader view of an entire panorama.
Now, do you need a video management system to do that, or how can you do it?
It does not.
It does not.
It is all inside of the camera.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it worked quite well, as you can see, because on the left, you can't really tell what's going on with that. But if you go to the pan and zoom view, which is the secondary that auto tracks to, and then it expands the view, you can tell exactly what's going on. A lot of people like this because it allows them to do perimeter with just two paired cameras, whereas normally to do the stretch we're talking about at the left, it would take roughly 8 to 10 cameras to cover that same space. You're doing it with two, long distance, and it's even hard for somebody to tell that they're out in the detection zone.
It's also a tremendously low cost because you don't have to rely on a server.
Absolutely. It's lower cost. As we say, our aim is always to be better, faster, cheaper with what we do. And we do it through better algorithms, better patents, better ways of doing things. But that is all inside of the cameras. Then the second one, which goes into a little bit more of what you were saying for critical infrastructure and for what we do with those, we have a second application that sits inside of a server box near the actual cameras. And for that, we're agnostic. Any camera stream can come in. It doesn't matter which manufacturer or how the screen comes in, and it does very interesting things. It can knock out atmospherics like rain, fog, insects, also can knock out things like headlight flashes. These are the things that cause roughly 90% of the nuisance alarms. We've written very specific algorithms that you can use a slider bar and decide how much you want to take out.
And it learns.
It learns, and that's the last part too, as you're saying. We have also incorporated in artificial intelligence and object classification. So over time, the library gets larger and larger to detect what the object is, and it also, with what we do, it gives you a detection threshold. So it will say, this is a human being at 70% probability, which in many times what happens with older, poorer video, the scene is obscured, it's a little pixelated. We'll still report out on it, but it's not going to be at 100% because that's a function of how good the camera and the video scene is as it goes through. Those are kind of our three areas, if you look at it, on how we've evolved in the last year. inside of the camera, lower cost, long range, very accurate, near the edge with the server, and that one, any camera goes into it, similar capabilities, but allows you to do any of it. Knock out all of that stuff on the front end so you can be more efficient on the back end. And then last is the artificial intelligence. We deploy either in cloud or on premise, and within the next month and a half it'll be in that box to where you can do learning and classification of the objects as well.
So users are surveilling their system that kind of learns their normal, what is normal to them?
So they do need to decide what are the rules they want in place. So in other words, they can do things like masking out areas, or they can say, I don't want somebody to dwell or loiter in this area and so forth. So there's a combination of the system learning in addition to the people looking at it saying, yeah, I don't like that, whatever that is.
But you're able to identify a specific behavior.
We can identify it, and we can be proactive to alert somebody's been in this area too long. It is a human. It's not something that you want. I'm going to tell you about it, and ignore things which are, let's just say, ordinary behavior that are non-threatening. Like somebody might be walking along a fence line but not approaching the fence. Well, that's fine if they're on the good side of the fence where people are allowed to dwell. But on the secure side of the fence, you want to be alerted immediately, or if somebody approaches it, you know the line, you know the pattern of what they're going against. So it's all of these combinations that make for, is what we had talked about earlier, more proactive and more also forensic, because we're able to look at this and capture the data, and keep the data after the fact to say what went on, so you can search it. You can say, I've seen X, tell me about it, rather than having to sift through a lot of videos.
That's tremendous. Now I see you for the pan tilt zoom follow. You're an Axis partner, so you have that based on Axis cameras. And with regard to the command center, you're camera agnostic.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. How would somebody buy your product?
Pretty simple. I mean, we work with a variety of major integrators. We also work with a variety of providers that are out there, like the ADTs, the Stanleys, Prosegur, Securitas, and a variety of different system integrators. We also work with central monitoring organizations, different ones like Allstate or Promontory, a variety of these folks. So there's a number of ways. The best way typically is to contact us, let us know what you'd like to do. We still do design, we still work with partners, and then we direct you to and say, this is probably the best for what you want.
So you'll provide AI support?
We will provide AI
Great.
support, and we also, for specific environments, we write API integrations if they have a specific, and we do not charge for those.
Nice service.
Those are free. We don't charge $25,000, $50,000 to do it. We actually write it in-house so that you get an integration to what works.
That is a wonderful perk. So it is Evolon.com?
It is Evolon Tech.
Evolon Tech. So
.com. So Evolon, TECH.com.
Great. Kevin, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Good to see you.